Hi and welcome to another studio stream from the Flash Lab. We're gonna do a mastering, an analog mastering for Shot, an artist from Munich who will be on Flash recording soon. I think he's online as well. Okay, so I'll go to the mastering setup and let's check out the tunes. Okay, let's have a listen to the other tracks. Okay, cool. Let's have a listen to the remaining tracks. It's 5 tracks. Maybe only 4 of them will get released. I didn't decide yet. I wanted to master them first. I'll show you the mastering chain. Here he is. Shot 11. And welcome to the stream.
Yes, we have to say there is a DJ set of Shot as well on the Flash Recordings YouTube channel, which we recorded on New Year's Eve. Go there and listen to Shot.
Sven Wittekind asks if I use the Vlad G6 limiter. Yeah, it's in fact my favorite limiter. It's a free plugin, which is a bit surprising because I got all the expensive UAD plugins, and I still prefer this limiter, to be honest, because it has many stages. It has this multiband limiter, and it even has got a clipper in the brick wall limiter. I don't know. I just like it most, and I'm gonna use it tonight as well. Okay, let's listen to the 4th track. Okay, I'll start with this track. It's called LQ from Shot. All 5 tracks are from Shot, and he will be on Flash recordings soon. Okay, what I noticed right away is there is a really nasty hi-hat, which is a bit too loud or too resonant, I don't know. Yeah, at 10 kilohertz. So that's the first thing I try to get rid of, and I'll use the Meindl Massive Passive for that. Not enough here, because I'm cutting away other frequencies which are needed. So I'll try the high frequency compressor on the Fusion. Yeah, what I'm gonna use, or what I'm gonna try at least, is the high frequency compressor on the Fusion SSL. It only compresses high frequencies, so that might do the job. Let's see. Otherwise I need to go for a digital solution in the form of maybe a multiband compressor, and I'll target only this frequency. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna use that, but it didn't solve the problem fully, so I'll go to my digital multiband compressor, but after I made some other settings. I'll have a look on the bass now, because I usually use a high-pass filter, either from the Meindl or from the Fusion SSL Fusion, or both, a combination of both, or none of them, you know. I have to decide. Let's check the track without any filter, without any high-pass filter first. Okay, I can instantly hear that the track is EQ'd very well in the low end already, so there's not much rumble, so maybe I will not need it, but I'll try how it sounds, because sometimes it highlights other frequencies in the kick drum because of the Q factor of the filter. Let's see. So I added 22 Hertz. I mean, I cut away everything below 22 Hertz on the Meindl, and everything below 30 Hz on the SSL Fusion. Let me have a listen to the rest of the bass. Okay, I gave it a bit of 47 Hz on the Manley and a bit of 60 Hz from the Tegeler Cream. Yeah, just to highlight the main frequency of the kick drum, which is at around 45 Hz or something. Okay, let's have a look on the mid frequencies. I think they lack a bit of higher mids. Let me actually reduce those nasty heights a bit with a multiband compressor first. Quinto and Jimmy Nesson recommend a de-esser. Yep, that's true, but I'll try with the multi-band compressor because it's kind of the same, isn't it? Because with the de-esser I sometimes don't know exactly what it's doing because I don't use de-essers very often. So I prefer a multi-band compressor. Let's see if it does the job. Okay, I've reduced it a little bit with a multi-band compressor, but I'm gonna try something on the Magnetism 2 from Tegeler Audio as well, because it has different transformers and iron can cut some heights as well. So let's see what happens if I drive it a little bit. Okay, it reduced the harshness a little bit further, so we are slowly getting there. Let's add some mid frequencies because there's a lack of mid frequencies, I think. Okay, there's a bit too much 150 Hz, I would say. And what I did in the meantime with the EQ is I boosted the 1K a bit with the Manley with a broad band, like a low Q level. And I boosted a little bit of 2.5K with the JDK EQ R24, which is, by the way, set up in mid-side mode. So the left side is the mono mid, and the right side is the stereo width, I mean the side signal. And how I do that is with the connector from Tegeler Audio, which is an analog patch bay, digitally controlled. So I set the order of the gear in the software, and their analog relay is setting the order, and you can make one device mid-side, and it's this in this case. And yeah, I added the 2.5K because it highlights the lower frequencies of the hi-hat, so I can go a bit lower in volume with the high frequencies, because I think it fits better to the track, makes it a bit more rhythmic as well. Okay, I think we are almost there. I reduced the 10K a little bit with a digital EQ, with the Cubase EQ called Frequency. I'm going into the limiter. I mean the brick wall limiter at the end cuts away up to 2 dB. Let's have a look on the LUFS value. I normally don't look at this value during mastering, just at the end, just to check, because I try to master it to reach a certain energy level and a certain overtone amount. So the LUFS is just to check at the end for me, but usually I end up around 7 to 8, minus 7 to 8. Let's see what it is here. Okay, we are at around minus 7.5. Let's listen to a reference track and compare it. The reference track is one of mine called All Those Moments, the Mython remix. Yeah, I think we are there. Quinto says that the low mids and high bass are too stiff, and Sven Wittekind recommends slight changes in the mix. Yeah, I'll export that as it is, and I'll master the other tracks as well, and then I'll see if they fit together well, and if something can be improved in the mix. Anyways, let's export it. I have to do this in real time because it's analog gear. Riemann mastering, 16 bits, 44.1 kilohertz, real-time export. Okay, cool. Let's continue with the next track, which is called Ledge. And because I guess Shot mixed it all in the same room, maybe the tracks have similar characteristics, so I'll not reset everything on the mastering chain. I listen to the track, and then I do corrections if necessary. So let's have a listen how the track sounds. Okay, I have to say it sounds instantly quite good. A bit too loud maybe. So I think I don't have to do many adjustments. And this track is a bit more clear, I think. It's not as muddy as LG. Yeah, it's mixed a bit clearer, so I was able to go a bit louder with it. Let me check the transitions from the breaks to the main parts where the kick drums come in, and then I'm gonna export it, I think. Rio Teichhorn has Teufel 7.2.4 speakers. Oh, I think that's good ones, isn't it?
I don't know if this is good for checking frequencies. It's very good for
It's at least good hi-fi speakers, isn't it?
Evening.
Yeah, the thing is we need flat speakers, we need boring speakers to judge the sound correctly here. That's the tricky thing. Mastering, yeah, you need very accurate but maybe boring speakers, so they exactly tell you the truth. But if you compare the tracks to reference tracks, it makes things a lot easier. Okay, let me check those transitions. Yeah, I think it sounds good. I'll export that, and in the meantime you can ask me questions in the chat if you want. I'll export it in 16 bits, 44.1 kilohertz again, which is the standard format. Okay, cool. That was the export of Ledge from Shot. Next one is Kestrel. Let's have a listen. Okay, the mids are a bit too nasty. I'll reduce the mids a little bit. Maybe the bass was a bit too loud. Let me see. Let me make some adjustments, then I'll tell you what I did. Okay, I think it sounds good already. I'll apply a little bit of multiband compressor for the mid frequencies because they're a bit too nasty, I think. But the sound aesthetic is really nice. A lot of overtones, a lot of distortion, but in a nice way. Okay, I reduced the mid frequencies at around 1K with a dynamic EQ, with the frequency EQ from Cubase, which has this function. Let's compare this part to the other part of the track. Yeah, I think it's good. I'll export it. I'll give it a little bit of fade out here. Export in 16 bits, 44.1 kilohertz again. Okay, so I just finished this track. The next one is this one. Okay, the high frequencies are a bit too loud. I'll do some adjustments and explain it to you in a minute. If you have any questions, feel free to write them in the chat. Okay, I think it sounds good now. Let's compare it to the reference track real quick. And I'll import the other 3 master tracks to compare them as well. Okay, I'll export this track now in 16 bits, 44.1 kilohertz again in real time because it's analog gear. And in the meantime, you can ask me some questions in the chat if you want. Tufi meme asks which will be an acceptable value for an average LUFS. I usually end up at -7, -8. The thing is, if you have a too narrow dynamic range, I mean too little dynamics, which means a low LUFS value, I mean a low minus value, like -4 LUFS would be a bit crazy, then you get a certain penalty from the streaming service in the form of a reduction of the volume. So they have got an algorithm which checks the average LUFS value. I think maybe there are other parameters in this calculation or in this algorithm as well. But yeah, if it's just very little dynamics and the track is very loud, then they simply will turn down the volume. So you need to find the perfect balance between, has the track enough energy, enough overtones, and like for techno, if it's too dynamic, then it tends to sound like house, or if the bass is too dynamic, then it tends to lose some energy on club sound systems, for instance, because the subwoofers are almost on maximum already, you know. Yeah, you have to find a certain balance. Okay, one more track from Shot to be mastered tonight, then we're gonna have a look on the peaks. And the last track is a kind of broken beat techno-ish track. Let's see. Let's hear it first, and then I'll do some adjustments and compare it to the mastered tracks again. Then the other tracks. I added some 2K because the mids were a bit too weak. And I adjusted some other levels. Let's compare it to the other mastered tracks. Yeah, it's simply a
track like this.
Yeah, it's simply another style. But yeah, I think we're there. I think it sounds good. I'm gonna export that in 16 bits, 44.1 kilohertz. Then we are done with the mastering, and we're gonna go to the peak synth from Novation and check that out, because I'll do a 1 synth challenge in 2 weeks on the Science Institute channel. Maybe I'll stream it on the Flash Lab Twitch channel. I'll let you know. Yeah, I have to produce a whole track with just 1 synth and no additional things. Okay, let's export the track. The tracks are from DJ Shot, by the way, from Munich. He will be on my label Flash Recording soon. I don't know when the release date will be, but I guess in around 6 weeks. Okay, let's start the export. It's in real time because it's analog gear. Okay, we're almost done exporting. I'll check all 4 tracks really quick besides each other. Okay, cool, I'm satisfied. If you want to get some Flash Recordings tracks, check out the Bandcamp page. We're waiting. See you next Saturday in the Flash Lab DJ stream from 11.
See you on Saturday. Bye bye.